Hey guys, Brenny here, and welcome to a hardcore episode. We are at the front of our kingdom, the entrance. I actually was debating, like, should I work on this or on the general store, and we'll see what happens at the end of this episode. Anyway, I want to do something that I saw many months ago. They're fake stars, and what you do is you put them in the sky, and they kind of use them to navigate. So, let's say I'm using the compass to get back, and I kind of want to, like, because compass takes us to our spawn over there. But we want to get back to the kingdom. So if I have some stars like that I could see, that would be actually pretty helpful. And I just think it looks pretty cool. We'll probably have to wait for nighttime for you guys to really check them out, because at daytime they kind of just look like dots, you know. But then again, that's what they're meant to look like. So, alright, what we're going to do is get to about height 200. Really not a fan of doing this, but how am I meant to fall? The only way I can fall if it's my fault. So I'm thinking my logic here is smart, but I'm not honestly sure because, you know, like, it just seems very dangerous to be doing this. So we will get up. What height are we at right now? We are at height 121. So we will continue to go upwards to height 200. And then I'm going to do a little triangle pattern. I wanted like a cluster of stars because I didn't want to worry about like not being able to recognize them, because they do look like little stars. And you put we're using quartz. We're gonna put torches on top. I'm not sure if the torches actually help, but I feel like they should, because at nighttime, if there was no torches, wouldn't it just be like really dark? All right, we're looking at negative. All right, so we need to go up 40 more blocks. Anyway, so a lot of you did download the world, and I really enjoyed that because I got a lot of suggestions and pictures and all that. And it's exciting. The reason we're not in the nether of this episode is, firstly, I got a lot of inspiration from you guys. And I found myself watching a lot of YouTubers, like, if they do the same thing for too many episodes, I get a bit bored of it, you know? So I want to mix it up. I also want to do the pathway there. I also have a thing to... Oh, you can see it a little bit there. See how the pathway marking is hollow? I actually put smooth stone on the outsides and then dug out the insides, and that will allow me to do the pathway, but not have to break blocks or be it. This pathway was easier because the height didn't change too much, but the height changes a lot more in the other three pathways. So yeah, we're going with this method. All right, so there's height 200. So we're going to put, oh god, I'm not a fan of this, a block here and a block here, and then the last one goes here. Then we put a torch on top. Now you can go all the way up, but I honestly wasn't too much a fan of that. I did some tests in a creative world, and my favorite one to do was about 200 blocks up. I tried one also at the same height of the clouds so that it was peeking out of the clouds a bit. Didn't really like that. You could see the torch, whereas at this height, you're not going to be able to see it. Oh god, I moved a bit more than I would have liked. This is what I wanted, a bit faster digging downwards. But yeah, I'm very pumped to see this. I'm going to wait for nighttime. Actually, I'll go down, show you guys what it looks like. It just seems like it's going to take years to get down here. I'll show you guys what it looks like throughout daytime. Yeah, see, it looks like blocks in the sky. But because there's no stars, it's actually quite visible, which is alright. And because they're up so high, they get a lot smaller once we're at normal ground height. The only issue is, let's say here we might have some towers and they'll be a bit higher, and if we stand on them it might not look as good, but from a distance it should look good, and I'm quite excited. How high are we? Not high enough for me to want to fall down there. My armor's getting a bit broken. Just when I think it's when I'm live streaming, I'm a bit more like active and like don't care if mobs are attacking me as much. I'll take a bit more damage because I know I have the armor, and then like after that I'm like, oh crap, I am quite worn down. Alright, here we go. Let's have a look-see. So, there you go, guys. It's teeny little dots. They look pretty cool. Now, the whole purpose of this is if we were 150 blocks in this direction, we will still be able to see these dots and walk towards them. And once we know when we're up to these dots, we'll be able to see the entrance to the kingdom. Okay, guys. So, it's nighttime and time to look up at our stars. And I like it. It's like it's bigger stars. I probably would have preferred a tad more height to them, but I'm going to keep them lower just so they're easier to see, because I'm legit often like having to follow the compass all the way back to the center point, and I'm sure at some points, because our kingdom is so close, it's going to be easy, but I like the idea of it, and I definitely would maybe like to make some kind of meaning out of the different, like, make different things in the sky. Like, for example, if I do that or something by itself, that means it's a storage area, and then that one means an entrance to a main. Oh my god, where do all these guys come from? Jeez. Alright, let's kill all you guys. So I've really been having issues with creepers recently. Like, I'll hop in bed. Usually it's me either just putting a bed down and sleeping and not really checking the area. And then boom, I actually had one before, like when I was walking out here, which, oh, that could have been those two over there. Alright, let's get you. I thought they burnt throughout the day, but apparently not. Many witches. There we go. Got a Mr. Zombie coming after us. Should do the pathway down there, shouldn't I? And the wall there. I'm really feeling the wall, but the only thing is, the wall is really repetitive to build, and like I don't have too many supplies, and I definitely think the wall will take more supplies than the general store. And here's where a creeper blew up, by the way, guys, which looks horrible. Makes me really sad. And yeah, the general store, the other thing. Oh, check this out, guys. Like, how funny is that? Oops, didn't mean to break it. I just wanted to show you guys how fast, like, I mine with my hand because I have the, what is it? Haste. I disabled the speed one because after looking at the recording from the previous episode, I really wasn't a fan of how, like, quick pace it looked. Alright, let's go and look at our house area, which we just want to dump some of this stuff out of our inventory. And, oh, well, not our house area, our general store. Now, I've slowly been outlining and filling in. I'm not a fan of doing this. I absolutely hate filling in big areas. Not that it's that big, is it? I brought it out a bit more here. I think I also changed a bit of the layout here, but I'm pretty happy with it. The entrance will be right here, so that's exciting. We'll probably have a staircase going up here. I don't know if I should do the pathway the same as this, you know. It is an entrance to a building, so it should have a bit more of a powerful looking pathway. Whereas, for example, oh, and that's another thing. I realized I have no toilets, like, made. Like, should there not be toilets in the inn and in our house? So I think what I'm gonna have do is, like, each little, like, I suppose suburb, each little cluster of houses, I might have like one outback looking toilet, and I think that would be pretty cool. And it seems correct, you know. They wouldn't have like sewage systems, so they would have to use holes, wouldn't they, or chamber pots and then empty that in. That's another thing, they could be using chamber pots, so they wouldn't really need a toilet. They'd more need a bedroom, because don't chamber pots go under your bed? Which, just when I think about it, sounds horrible. Like, who wants to crap and then fall asleep above their crap, you know? Maybe they empty it out instantly. I don't have a clue. But there we go. We've filled this in. Now, this is a lot bigger. I'm really happy with it. I feel like we're going to have a lot more room to work with. We could do a staircase up where the general store owner will live. Probably actually have the balcony like I did want. So, I think what will happen is this will be second layer. And then here will be the balcony where we can stand out and look off the top of the area, and we'll still have quite a large area for maybe a master bedroom, a living room, and a smaller room with maybe 2 beds that would be maybe the general store owner's kids' rooms. So what I'm gonna do is play around with some different designs, because I really don't have a full inspiration for the like code palette, I believe, that I want to use for this. So what I'm going to do is do something similar to this, try to incorporate that, but obviously they're very two different styled buildings, you know. This is an inn, and like this is a general store. They should be different. Another thing we're going to have to make bigger is the barber over here, because it's outrageously small, and if we want to keep a similar epic design, we're going to have all these builds a bit bigger. And the other thing is, like, we've got the room. We do have the room to make these a bit bigger. The houses will probably have to stay about the same size, maybe a tad bigger if I want to add a bit more detail to them, because obviously that was our first house. And I want to have like pathways through here. I also want to make these street lamps, which is another thing I might do. Okay, friends, so lamps are crap. I have not seen a lamp that I was 100% happy with, so I found a design that I'm decently happy with, which if you don't remember this design, it's actually one I used in a previous hardcore, but this isn't the design I am speaking of. We are just putting this here so that it is on at all times. And I actually originally had a light sensor at the top, which was really annoying to make, but I like it with the wood on the top. The only thing is it blends in a bit, but if I make it stone, it also blends in with the floor, so I could make it out of, what else has a slab? Sandstone? But that, I don't feel like that would suit in very well. Anyway, I have actually found a design that I am decently happy with. The only thing is, it's nothing custom or special. It's a very generic design that most of you will probably have seen. So we do 3 of these, and then on top we put the slabs, which to get up there we should be able to do this. This is gonna work. Yep, there we go. Oh, maybe not. All right, whatever. There we go. We put a slab there, and then you just put the redstone lamp there, and then you put a way to power it, which I like to use a lever and place it the other way so it's kind of facing into the wall. Damn it, placed it the wrong way still. No, I need it to be the other way, game. Is that... Oh my god, why does this hate me right now? What if I do it there? No? Alright, what if I go back and place it from behind? What? Why does it dislike me? There's got to be a way I can play... Oh! Alright, so... Off and on will always be the same in other directions. So maybe what I will have to do for this is put daylight sensors up here instead. Like so. And it does give it a... It looks like chocolate, to be honest. But it does give it a different look. And I don't mind that. I'm not a fan of it. Oh, well now I'm really sad. So I'm basically going to only be able to place lamps on this side because the lever will be the correct way from this side. Another thing I could do is like one in the middle every now and then. And I might do that for like here. I think a lamp in the middle would actually look pretty decent. We'll give it a squiz. I've got to have a power nap because I'm not having a creeper spawn and it's not going to come and just explode beside me and kill me like they always do. Well, not kill me. They always do damage to me and damage my armor. There we go. And, ooh. Alright, so this is going to be a test. So basically one side of this will only be able to be on, which is crappy. But we'll see how it looks anyway. I think I would prefer it to hang 2 blocks out here. No, I don't mind that actually. I like it a lot. Yeah. This is the only one I'm happy with really, guys, when you think about it. Yeah, see, that one's going to be facing that way. So that's annoying. What way could I get the power from block to block? In a smart way as well. I could use glowstone. That's actually a decent idea, because if I use glowstone, I can just put wooden trapdoors on it, which was the plan anyway. I was going to do that. The only thing is, if I use, what are these called again? Light sensors. If I have the trapdoors on there, throughout the day's progression, they will probably update and pop up, which I don't want to be dealing with that. But I do like that design. With the trapdoors, definitely. But I can't use the trapdoors when using that design because, obviously, like I just said, when the light updates, it's going to update the trapdoors. So let's do that. And yeah, I'd say glowstone would probably be the best. Oh, we could get lantern. Wait, what are they? Prismarine lanterns. I've never touched that stuff yet. I'm yet to use it, and I'm very excited to use it. We probably should work towards that, shouldn't we? Okay, guys, so we have gone with this style of the street lanterns, which I am super happy with. And like, look at this, guys. It's starting to look like a full area even more, and it just makes me so happy. General store has been just changed again. I was trying to find inspiration from this because I want it to look similar, but not 100% the same. And I actually think I've found a nice level of that. For example, like here, you'll see that there's this. And I'm taking more of this design here and putting it here than I am taking these upper designs. But I also am factoring in elements of that. For example, here I would like to have the stairs facing like... Oh, crap! Wow, can't believe I messed 2 out of 3 up. And there we go. And then here there's going to be some sidewall things, which are... We might also do stairs to... I hear a skeleton. Where's the skeleton come from? It's been daytime. Like, I haven't let it get to a nighttime period at all, really. That could go there. Then I was actually thinking here as well. We could do that. And it would just make that look a tad prettier. We would have, what are they called here? Iron gates to... Or actually, fences would probably, yeah, suit this build a lot more. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, so the cobblestone, like, solid cobblestone here, I'm not too much a fan of, but I feel like we might be able to get it to work. So let's go and get... I have my stuff, like, in... There's 6 chests near me. All of them are completely random and have no correct sorting out, but we're working with it, so it's alright. There we go, and there we go. And now we can put this up here. And then in the corners, I was thinking the, cobblestone walls. The only thing I don't like is that. And another thing I could do is actually have that go back a bit, maybe. Or have some other block in here. I could have wood going across if I wanted to frame it a bit. Nah, see, that's making it too squared off. Like, the wood needs to be used to make certain shapes, but not overused to the point where it's making, like, squares everywhere. Where, like, you can see here, it has squares, but I didn't have a bottom part here specifically to make it look a bit more open, and I put it here on purpose to make them look joined, whereas here, this just kind of looks like a box attached to it. So, I would like something here. I just don't know what, though. Actually, what height? Yeah, I was going to say, is the built... I feel like the window may have been one too high, but it isn't, so that's alright. We do need a block in there, though, and I don't know whether I want to have it beveled or not. Let's see what it looks like with this. That's a bit better. I don't mind that, because with this being at the... I hope you guys can see my mouse. I never actually remember. But yeah, with this being a bit more at the back, and then this being at the front, it isn't too bad. So, what I'm going to do now is do the boxing around here, and the glass there. Okay, guys, so I have changed the shape of the build once again. I brought this wall in a bit, I brought this wall out a bit, and this is where the cashier is going to stand. I'd say he'd walk in about here. And then there would be a staircase up here into the roof level, which would be where his house was. I'm also going to have an underground storage area, which the general store is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It kind of makes the inn look a bit small, to be honest. Like, especially if you go on the inside, I might have to extend the inn. Like, then again, it's an inn. I think a tight, like, little space is probably what it should be, you know? Whereas a general store, he's selling goods. He could be baller rich, you know? We're speaking about, like, a fake person, and I just find that funny. Anyway, another thing I want to do is I'm going to do the roof a similar style. So, oh, God, that was annoying. We're going to do it like this, and it's going to have a similar style, but it's going to be less extruded. I don't know what word to use right there, but basically it's only going to come out 3 or 4 blocks, whereas that comes out about 7. And the whole purpose of that is just because we want some slight differences, you know? We want the build to look good. And we will do this and bring these across just to finish off that part. And now we'll go down here, and I wanted to show you guys what this is. It's the cellar. I've got like a little grate here I think I'll have, and you'll be able to look into the storage cellar. I don't really feel like anyone would actually have that, because why would you want someone being able to look into your storage? Whoa! Oh, that's cool. But also very, very annoying. Let's pop that there. But yeah, like, looking into someone's storage probably is a really bad thing, but I think it will look cool, so I really wanted to do it. So if we do this around the outside, like so, and then we put that there. Oh, crap! Such a strong pickaxe. There we go. And then we put these, like, iron bars here. I think that will look pretty cool. I would like to, obviously, see it in the future. Maybe this is where we could have the staircase down to the cellar. I'm not quite sure. Maybe have a doorway here, because this is an odd shape. I don't actually know why I put it there, since I ended up making it smaller and smaller. One thing I could do is bring it out to here, and that would actually solve all of our issues with that part. Yeah, that would solve all of the issues, which would be quite nice. We'd have more space for the cellar, for going down into the cellar. Oh, and yeah, I might do that. I think that's a cool idea. So let's go and mark that out, because that's going to look pretty epic. Oh, all over the place. I have like a bed everywhere now that I probably don't actually need to bring a bed on me. So that's going to go like that. And then what we do is we do the cobblestone on the inner parts. Originally I had the cobblestone in between here, if you guys didn't know. So the build went, well, if you didn't notice, more likely. Yeah, the build has actually shrunk down on the inside, so I could probably add more detail and get away with it, because the inside's quite large. But you gotta think, like, as soon as you start adding shelves and you want, like, areas to walk in between them, like, let's say there, and then, yeah, see, look, we're out of room to do it 2 apart. We could probably do like that, and then have that there, and then we don't have a central spot here. I could do the shelves in groups of 2. That might yeah, that might actually look a bit better. And then I'd have multi-level shelves and have spaces in between them, and maybe some bookshelves in the corner here, like so people can buy books. I don't know. I wasn't born in the medieval times. I don't know what would be in a general store. I probably should just play a bit of Skyrim and see what they have, just to get a rough idea. There we go. And sorry for... I hate when people sniff in videos, so whenever I do it, I hate it. But I have horrible hay fever right now, like outrageously bad. And I have no tablets for it, so I don't know what to do. But I'm trying to be less of a whinge about my hay fever because I feel like that's annoying as well. Alright, so we need to bring this down a decent amount. I would ideally like head height to be looking through the grate though, because I think that would look pretty cool. I need to make a base block here. Let's do it. Let's do this, and then we build up here. And then basically this block here will be what we can place all the other blocks on, which will end up quite nice. And then we'll be able to get under the house here, which will look pretty cool. Like so. Or under the build, not really the house. And yeah, and then we can look out of this grate, which is cool because the other element of that is we can look into the grate, which I really like. Alright, so staircase here, staircase here, staircase here. We should get staircases to see how they line up and put blocks behind it, like so. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Got a bit of space here. We could actually even it out a bit more. So the staircase ends there. If oh no, we can't really even it out because it's either 3 there or 3 here. So I'd probably prefer the 3 to be on this side, which if you don't get what I mean, like this here is 2 by 3 and this here is 3 by 3 if you count the area like marked off like there. Because I'd probably put a wall between here now, like so. Don't know why I'm building it with logs, but the wall would go here. Here would be all the public general store. If you go up the staircase behind the cashier's area, that will go to the his personal house. And down here will go to his personal storage, which would be for the general store. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave off this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I think it's a good spot to leave it because I really, really want to see some of your suggestions, guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. If you're new, feel free to subscribe, and goodbye!